Hey all, Game Methuselah. Well, I know you haven't heard from me for a while, and I thought I would kind of maybe do a real life video here. First and foremost, since the craziness here in Southern California is still high, it seems to be receding, so I'm going to sort of crawl out of my cave and do one of my favorite things, which is go to a Strategicon convention at the Hilton Hotel in Los Angeles, California. Now, it started running today, Friday, the 18th. I'm going to go tomorrow on the 19th, about noon, and then hopefully, if it all goes well, stay through maybe Sunday. I don't know whether I'll go back for Monday, but likely I'll be there most of Saturday afternoon and then into the evening, and then maybe come back Sunday if things are looking good and there's some fun things to do. So if anyone is in Southern California, especially if you're coming to the Strategicon convention, look me up. I'm sure I'll wear one of my skull shirts, and of course, with the Chrome Dome, I'm not too hard to spot. And we can talk about gaming. My friend Dana is running a sort of musket and pike game going on in the early afternoon. I'm going to sort of stop by and take a look at that. But I think I'm bringing all my cowboys. Well, I don't think. I'm actually doing it. I'm bringing my Old West cowboys so we can play a 1976 set of rules, Old West gunfighter rules called Boot Hill. A friend of mine's running it. I had told him I had lots of painted figures for it, so I'm bringing them so he can use them in his game. And that I'd like to play, because I haven't played it in 30 years. But it's fun, and because what was really cool about Boot Hill is we actually sort of integrated it into some role-playing, and we were sort of playing a Boot Hill fantasy role-playing game for quite a while back in the 70s. Quite a while, more than like maybe in 6 months, but relative to age, it was a long time. So I'm looking forward to playing that, and I'm always looking forward to seeing what else is going on, new stuff at the dealer rooms, all the things that are really great about going to conventions. I'm always amazed. I find so many young people who've never been to a convention, and I said, look, you've always got to go to a convention if you get a chance. The secret of a convention is you get you and 5 of your friends, and you rent the cheapest room in the hotel, and you all bring sleeping bags and lots of food that you can stuff into coolers and stuff, and basically the room becomes a big place to find a flat spot and sleep, and a nice shower so that you can bathe, because it is the one thing that's important in game conventions. After 4 days, you want to have a few chances to bathe. It's been fun. We used to do all of these back in the 70s. We had to obviously travel much longer distances. One of my friends was a pilot for Civil Air Patrol, so we used to fly up to the Bay Area to play some of those conventions because we thought we were all slick that we could come up in a plane. Didn't really matter. The really important things always for us was to get to the conventions and really take in what's there. And if nothing else, it gets you to meet new people, because you go, you find games that you're interested in or games you've wanted to be interested in. You get some people to teach you how to play it. You find out where they live, and suddenly you've got a new best friend that you can game with. And that's really nice. Well, I'm going to be there. If you catch me, if I have time, I'd be glad to talk to you about gaming. Glad to talk to you about painting. The nice thing is they usually have a painting booth or something going on there, so other people who know how to paint pretty well will give you tips too. So it's really cool. There's a painting competition. I'm tempted to bring something, but I likely won't. Too lazy, and really, I don't paint competitively anymore. More likely to lose anyway, and then that would be embarrassing. But to the point that I have not done a video. Sometimes the real life gets in the way. And in my case, that's exactly what it's been. 2 injuries, as I think you guys have heard, over the last 2 years, plus all the madness that's gone on. It really had put me in a bad way. Writer's block, trying to get these rules written, trying to work on my Albion campaign source books to kickstart this thing and get it out there, has been trying for me. I'm not particularly a good writer. Dyslexia usually makes that a little more difficult, so I'm in the position that I'm in. But fortuitously for me, my writing partner and game buddy, Steve Key, has been just trudging away and coming up constantly with ideas, and we get together constantly and work on it. In fact, we are now in the playtesting mode of our game. I've really been excited about it. It's been super fun. The great thing about playtesting is it finds all the holes in your rules and allows you opportunities to fix it. So we've been doing that, and we had kind of another breakthrough the other day. Things are really starting to go, and kind of in a position now where I really need to start looking into how to get this kickstarted, to get it sort of out there in the world and see if anyone actually wants to see it. Because you always have a few months after the thing closes to do all the polish and then get the stuff to the printer. So that's where we're at. But the thing was, I kept finding myself doing all the things you have to do in life that weren't part of doing videos for you guys. You know, I had a 100-year-old home. I have lots of improvements I need to do, which means I have to bring the city into this thing, which is like having hot needles stuck into your eye. It's really drawing me down, and it sucks out your power and makes you feel like I've got to spend all my time dwelling on this. Getting additional financings for the house, realistically looking at my, my videos and the like and saying I really don't have a lot of followers in the YouTube range. So I'm really kind of not succeeding, and I can't constantly think of things to pontificate about constantly, because who the heck wants to hear me pontificate about everything anyway? So I kept thinking, I'm just going to kind of put this in the back burner and just sort of let it go. And of course, Patreon falls off. Everything sort of kind of becomes a point that it becomes a reinforcing negative in your life. And I think a lot of you out there who've had problems can sort of relate to this. Sometimes you run into a point where things aren't really going bad, but it seems like there's a level of drudgery and the fact that you're not succeeding the way you feel like you should be. So you stop doing things. Now, fortunately for me, I always have my gaming, and I've been staying steady with that. But even that has been sort of kind of dragging a little bit because a lot of my friends have been gone and things are changing and the world is sort of locked down. And it makes it more difficult for me to truly enjoy the games as much as I want. But then sometimes something really positive happens that you kind of don't expect. And this is what it was for me. I get a letter, snail mail, with a funny stamp on it from Quebec, Canada. Now, I don't know anybody in Quebec, Canada. I don't have any friends who live up there. I don't ever remember going up to Quebec to game. I have no conduit with this. So I think, oh my God, somebody has sent me a letter bomb. No, I'm sure that's not the case. Who would care? So I open up the letter and I find that it's one of my patrons named Michael. Now, I don't know if it's actually Michael or Michelle. I'm always worried when I see Quebec because I'm not sure whether they have the cool spellings or pronunciations of names or not. But he sends me this incredibly charming letter. How much he loves my videos. He won a miniature from me in my Patreon page, and he said that's one of the prized miniatures now in his collection. He's into game design, which I think is fabulous. Like Matt Colville, someone who actually pursues his dream in spite of the fact that people recommend above. So many times in the 80s, I got an opportunity. I could have got into the game industry, if nothing else, just to do packaging for them, because there was companies that wanted me to do that in the game industry. But I had a nice job that was easy and made good money and allowed me enough time to spend my time gaming and then later building a game business and all the rest. So, I always said no. It's like, geez, I'm making all the money I can spend, and I'm getting to do what I want because I can spend time doing gaming, which I think a lot of you can appreciate. But the thing was, he sends me this letter telling me how much I've meant to him. And suddenly, I feel kind of bad. I feel kind of dumb. For over 4 decades, I have spent vast hours of time preparing adventures, working and sweating, pouring out blood in my heart and soul into creating these adventures, because I think most of you know I don't do modules, to basically play for my friends, which at any point never amounted to more than a dozen people playing a game, except for maybe Deep Silence back in the 70s. I think I did get about 25, 30 people to play in that. But that was a really unique game about going into hell, but I thought it was just neat for other people to show interest in things. And I was really surprised. And then at the bottom of the letter, he says, I also bought you some Otherworld miniatures, which are going to be coming in a different package soon for you. Now, I sort of thought sending Game Methuselah unpainted lead is kind of cruel. I mean, at this point, I more than likely have more miniatures to paint than I surely have energy nor time to paint them. But they came. Otherworld. Now, he had won a Medusa from me, so he got me this greater Medusa from Otherworld. And, so what? I looked at it. I don't care. And then I tossed it back in the box. And then the other day, I, of course, pulled it out to take a serious look at it. It's a beautiful miniature. It's one of the serpent miniatures, larger than man size with a bow, and it's really cool. Very much like the Reaper one I have, which is really nice, and I like it. So I thought, this is really, really cool. And then, kind of as maybe a throwaway in the bag, I don't know, there was another little teeny Medusa here. Sort of the traditional humanoid Medusa, but I love the pose. That sideways pose, walking, looked really, really beautiful. Harkened me back to sort of the first time I saw one of Tim Mears' beautiful Raupartha sculptures, how evocative and interesting it was based upon most of the static miniatures that I had seen up until that point. So now I want to paint it. And more importantly, I have to realize that I don't really care. I mean, I didn't do this to make any money, so I don't really care necessarily if the count isn't that high. I wasn't looking to get into any other business or line. I thought maybe I might be doing some stuff with Matt, but he's been so busy and got such a good crew. That's never happened. So it's kind of one of these things that I started writing the book, the rules for my own game system and the Albion Twilight of Fae campaign, and that's been taking up a lot of time. And if nothing else, it's got me and Steve really working on gaming, and that's been really exciting. And that's what's been taking up a lot of my time. But I've got to get back out there and talk to you guys, because I realize that even though my numbers might be small, there are a lot of people who are benefiting from, if nothing else, all my weird, crazy stories about how life used to be in the gaming world and how you could try to get that use of what other people have built on and invested in into your game so that you can improve your games for your groups. I'm also playing in a Friday night version of my playtest of my game, and I'm playing every other Thursday now in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons back from 1978 with my friend Angelo. So that's also been really fun. So I'm getting lots of things done, but I think I need to do a little bit more for you guys. And more importantly, to sort of build on things. I wanted to start talking about game systems I think you should acquire, especially if you want to be a collector. This is one of the ones that I really enjoy because of its sentimental value. And I've played Chivalry and Sorcery, and we liked it a lot. It was most likely the second game system I ever played after the original D&D. It was a good system, and as for someone who was into miniature role-playing, miniature army battle games like I was, I understood how to play it. I never quite figured out how the magic system worked. I sort of did, but it was so ponderous, nobody ever wanted to do it. But the neat thing was, it's a great game to get. And I went on eBay because, as you can see, my original copy from 1977, it's a little dog-eared. I more likely have one or two other copies around here that I've acquired over the years, but I didn't go hunting for them. This is my old set. It's got my name. It's even got my original phone number from living in Downey, California. I didn't even remember the number until I opened up the cover, which I thought was really funny. But it's a great game to understand how things develop. And the neat thing about it is, I thought you could get it really cheap. Again, I went on eBay. There were like people saying, well, they wanted $90 for it, $80, $60, whatever. And some guy had it up for $10 bid. I bid $10 because I didn't really need it. And some guy sniped me at the end and got it for $10.50. So it led me to think that, you know what? You can most likely get this game, if you're a little patient, really easily. Now, I have the rules, plus I have all the other expansions they came up with. It's really well worth owning, especially if you guys ever want to do any retro gaming, do things that are sort of very different. It had a very different feel and concept from Dungeons & Dragons. And it had a very army miniature feel. And pretty much half the rules are set up for an army battle game. So it kind of gives you two games in one. It's interesting to look at, especially if you're obviously into game design or you just like collecting games. As the first game, I would say one should get, if you can get it inexpensively, would be get Chivalry and Sorcery. Whether you get the expansions or not, strictly up to you. But it's things to do if you're loving to collect games. If you can pick up a nice copy of it, and I'm betting you can, pretty cheap, I suggest it. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know, I'm still breathing because I know when I don't do videos, people worry that, maybe the Grim Reaper has come by and put his paw on me. So far not happened, but I want to get back out there, and I hope to do more things. And I think the easiest thing for me to do initially, again, like I said, is just start talking about other old game systems you might want to acquire, and then let you know more things, because I still got to pour most of my heart and soul into getting my rules and my campaign information done and get it out there so it doesn't become one of these things that sits in a closet and ends up not getting finished. So anyway, if you're around, come see me tomorrow, maybe Sunday. In any event, fight me, devils, fight, for I hate peace. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you've been having a good year, and game on.